Hi, it's Julia. I've got a video for you today that is kind of special to me because I made my own palette. I never thought I would, but I made my first custom eyeshadow palette with easy wearable colors that I feel like beauties over 60 feel comfortable wearing out. So if you'd like to see what I'm talking about, keep watching. Welcome to Accessorize Your Life. I thank you for tuning on to this video. I hope it is beneficial to you, and I think this video might very well be if you have a lot of eyeshadow palettes and when you go to put them on, the various colors, you find that they're way too shimmery or they're just not what you really intended them to be on your eyes. I know it's all washable, you can take it off, but sometimes we're getting ready to go out, we don't have time for all of that. So I made a custom palette for color that I wanted to wear, that I would really feel comfortable wearing and be reassured that it is not too much, it's appropriate for a woman my age. So recently, I think it was just last Saturday, I met up with some ex-co-workers for lunch, and we were just out with having a casual lunch at La Madeleine. I think you know what that is. It's like a little French easy cafe kind of restaurant. So it was chilled and it was relaxing, but I did my eye makeup and I think I used a bright color similar to what my nails are, and it felt like it was okay at home, but when I got out, I think I felt okay with it. I think when it really hit me is when I got back home and I looked in the mirror and I felt like, wow. I was checking to see if the eyeshadow stayed on during the time out because I was out for about 4 hours. So everything stayed in place, but I really felt like it was too shimmery and it was just too much for the occasion for me and my age. So it got me thinking, I should be able to identify what I really want within all the eyeshadows that I have here, and also reach for it each and every time with confidence that this is going to work for me. So that's what I got busy doing. So yeah, hang with me and I will show you my palette. It is not beautiful looking because this is my first attempt at it. I did not have a empty eyeshadow palette to put these colors in, but I made it work. So let's start off with what I have on my face already. Of course, my primer first, which is Smashbox. It is the Photo Finish Control Mattifying Primer. And then I went in with the Urban Decay. This is the Face Bond, and I have it in shade 29. So that's on my face, as well as some Fenty setting spray, some Laura Geller concealer under my eyes and around, and then a little bit of Jane Iredale powder. It's actually a face foundation, but I used it as a setting powder just because I wanted to just set my Urban Decay. So that's what I have on my skin. So now I feel like I can put these away or to the side and we can get going with my palette. I can't remember which eyeshadow it was that I wore out on Saturday. I really didn't take note other than the fact that I think I can do better. So I have a few here that are going for the color that I want. I think this one here in this I think this is a Viseart palette. This is the La Plage palette, a beautiful summer palette, but this is sort of the shade I'm going for. It's a little shimmery here, so it's a little too much for me, because when I put it on to wear out, I think the color is so intense that I wouldn't be comfortable in it unless I just did a wash of it. And sometimes it's a little hard because you have to really try to build it up. In this Huda Beauty, the Emeralds palette, or Emeralds Obsession palette, I thought that this color would do, but it's a matte and it just really doesn't do much for me. It looks too dry. And then I found this Boho, this IBY Beauty palette I have in my collection. And here again is another pretty color. Now this one doesn't seem too bad, but I know once I put it on my eyes, it's going to be a little much. And let me show you the Huda Beauty or Huda Beauty right there. It's not bad, but I think I can do better. And then back in the Viseart, I really should have swatched these. This one on top, see that Viseart is a little much. It's a little more than what I'm going for. Now they're not bad colors, and when I bought them I liked everything about them. So those are those three there. I also have a Danessa Myricks palette here. This is the Tropics palette, the mini one, and the color on the end, although it's a little more blue than what I had in mind, the other one was a little more bluer. But again, it's just a lot. And lastly, I have from Urban Decay the Wild Greens palette. And I'll just open up one side. It's this one here. That's pretty. Don't get me wrong, I like it. And it's not too bad. It's a consideration. But it's not what I want. So what I did is I went back into the Dollar Tree. I hadn't been in the Dollar Tree in a while, but I was preparing a bag for someone, I think a gift, and I needed a little bag. So I went in there and got a little bag, and I found a palette from Believe Beauty. And it looked gorgeous, but the palette, there was only one color that really suited me, I think, in that palette, and I didn't buy it for that color, but I found it to be the color I want. Now I have several Believe Beauty palettes from years ago, and I don't wear them much at all. I can honestly say I don't wear them. But the one color in this palette stood out to me, and I just emptied out the palette. Here it is, the palette that I used. I put this foam in this palette from a Danessa Myricks palette I had, just because I felt like I needed some support in this palette. But this is what my palette looks like. Nothing special. But the colors that I was going for, and I took a blow dryer to this palette to get the actual little palette out that it came with. But the color that came in this palette was I think right here, and then I built around it with some others. This green here is from the Mood palette, a single eyeshadow palette I had for years. I tore it apart and got that green out because I liked it. And then this color above the color I chose right here is from Catrice, I think. It was in a single palette like this, case like that. And then this brown here, because I think it's a pretty good brown, although I'm having my doubts about it, was from MAC, and it is the saddle color to matte. And that's what I used to create this palette. Now, what did it look like before? I ended up taking it apart. I used my heavy duty scissors to cut the palette apart. Now, don't look at everything else in here. This is a Tarte palette that I've had for years, empty palette. But this was the palette. Let me just take it out if I can. I put it in with some of that sticky stuff that they put on the back. So this was the original palette, Believe Beauty palette that I purchased, and I just cut out the color that I really like. I bought it for this color right here. I thought it was really pretty, and this color, but it's just too much, way too much for what I want to do on a day-to-day basis. Or when I'm, like I said, going out for lunch with friends, or going to the movies, or just running errands. Like I'm going to run errands today, and I don't want all of this shimmery on my eyes or this intense color on my eyes, yet I like those colors. So I took that one shade out of here, and what I like about this shade, it has these colors in it, but it's like a duochrome. Which one is it? Right here. It doesn't look like much on the finger, but I'm going to use a little bit more of it so you can see it, so it shows up for you. Here it is right here. When the light catches it, you'll see these colors in it, and that's just enough for me. So that's why I made this eyeshadow palette. And I felt like this one on top that I got from I think it's Catrice, is pretty much the same thing. Not giving you the finger, but I want you to see. It does the same thing. Can you see that hint of that seafoam green in there? I think that's the color. I don't want the bluish shade. I want more of a green. And I think these two do it. This one definitely does. But these two is just enough for me. So that's what I was going for. And that's what led to me customizing my own palette, making my own palette. Now this green on the side is for when I want a little more. Say I'm going out for dinner and I want to offset these two colors a little better, then that's what the green is for there. So I thought that might be interesting. Now one more thing before I put this on my eyes, I want to show you in these other Believe Beauty palettes that each one, this is the one that's Golden Disco. I think all of them but this one actually. That's the exception. But most of these palettes that I have, this is the purple one. Even though they have that intense purple there, which anybody can wear, but for me, and I think I'm thinking of other beauties over 60, this muted color, it has purple in it, but it has like taupes in it. It's the perfect amount of color for us, I feel. It's a little deep there, but it has reflex. And again, in this palette from Believe Beauty that has Into the Blues, there and again, right there. This is going to be the perfect amount of blue. Right there. It's not going to be too much. And the last one, this one is Nearly Nude. I like this one a lot too. Finding that I had what I really needed all along right here. This shade right here is the perfect amount of brown with like copper or something. You get some tones in there. I love that. So I hope you understand where I'm going with this video and with making my own eyeshadow palette, my custom eyeshadow palette that I feel are comfortable for me. So let me start putting these on my eyes. This is from my first custom eyeshadow palette that is comfortable for me and easy to wear. So I'm going to grab a makeup brush and just get busy with it. So on my eyes already I have a little bit of Becca where it's oily normally, and I want to put on a little eye primer, and normally I go in with the NARS eye primer, and I am looking for it. It's always elusive, and I found it. So right here, it just gets stuck behind something else, so I only need a little of this. And I'll just go in with a brush here from Refra and just kind of work this in. Probably not the best brush, as I can see here. It's too fluffy. One of those little flat brushes would have been better. So I'm going to start off by going into this MAC saddle color here. It isn't my fave, but it is doable, and I do want to use it. So I'm going to go in with the Believe Beauty eye color here and just tap it in. Can you see that color come alive there? It's just enough. It's all I need. And if I wanted to, I could just take a little bit of that green and just kind of tap it on the outer corner. Not too much. And then work it out into there. I love it. I could also take the color that is above it, it's real soft and silky, and just put a little more on there. It's pretty much the same color. I think it has a little bit more of blue in it, if I'm not mistaken. And like, that's all I have to do. And I'm comfortable with the eyeshadow. It's not too much. And I don't look like I tried too hard. So that makes me happy. And of course I would go in with my brown eyed girl on the bottom lash line and mascara. I'm just going to use this Tarte. So guys, this is basically it. If I wanted to go a step further, I could put on blush to match the lipstick, but I am excited to have my go-to palette when I just want to run out the door with a certain color. Like I'm wearing these kind of greenish, bluish green colors and seafoam colors, and I'm just happy to have a palette that I made that is custom, you know, to me, and I feel like it's easy to wear and I know I feel comfortable wearing it. So I thank you for tuning in to watch me just apply this eyeshadow and the lip, and just know that we already possess in our collection what we like. We just have to really tune into it, to define it, to just know what we feel are best in. So that's what I hope you've gathered from this video. If you don't create your custom palette, just reach for the shade that most complements you and that you feel most comfortable in. Making my first custom eyeshadow palette wasn't something I set out to do. It came about as a necessity. So take any palette you like, find the colors in it or the color in it that suits you most. Again, the one that brings you into your comfort zone, that you can reach for day in and day out, for running errands, having lunch out, going to the auto repair, whatever you have to do, and feel very comfortable in it, knowing that you don't have on too much, it's age appropriate, and it flatters you. Well guys, that's all I have for you. Thank you for watching. I love you for watching. So long.